the original man, manifested, arrested inside a physical skin, to spread the message, a vessel of adolescents and kids. Bring them back to the essence of excellence and ideas. The weaponry make us seem lesser than we appear. No ego, the people say it's definitely my year. No question, a blessing, I'm investing it in my peers. The destiny you could see reflecting me in the mirror. Especially the flow hitting you like a shoddy. I be on the way with the metaphysical body. Probably thinking I'm so enlightened, Illuminati. Got me hard to copy, Aki, when you a star seed. The mathematics we synthesize in the ether, tweak at the highest peak till we split the sides of the speaker. Hypnotize in the street, no preacher or choir even. Redefine your physique from the meat to the fire eaters. I'm Shaka Zulu with it, Baba, do you get it? I don't do the drama, mama, who you kidding? We truly winning, Africana descendants, infinite pennant, from the end and the beginning. Shaka Zulu with it, Baba, do you get it? I don't do the drama, mama, who you kidding? We truly winning, Africana descendants, infinite pennant, from the end and the beginning. Blowing smoke in the air high, fly without a choker or hair dye. Relate to kinda grammar, Jesus kinda manner, so we ready when you dare try. Black magic for the lay, just another tragedy today. That'll be the day, no Desert Eagle spray, yeah, that'll be the day. Wouldn't it? It's just too much to unpack. It's not suede, it's alpaca, you block that. Cause I'm bringing the block back. Sir. Yeah, they catching the contact. Shaka Zulu with it, Baba, do you get it? I don't do the drama, mama, who you kidding? We truly winning, Africana descendants, infinite pennant, from the end and the beginning.
Cop that Shaka Zulu on all streaming platforms. Yes, sir, that's me.
I don't do the drama, mama, who you kidding? Truly winning, Africana descendants, infinite pennant, from the end and the beginning, yo.
We here now. Share, share, share. Get your people in the building, get them in the room. I know some of us on the plantation, so just what? So what?
You gotta go by the guidelines sometime. You should rhyme sometime.
Let's go.
Commit a crime sometime.
You're going in. Y'all know can't nobody break this down like me.
Sometime. You should be kind sometime.
Free your mind sometime.
There won't be any time sometime. Cause you won't be alive sometime. You should be fighting for your life sometime.
Tashi says, so what? Let's go. Thank you, Chop Duke. Thank you. Dua. I got more music coming for y'all real soon. man. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button, smash that share button. You know what I'm saying? Throw it in like 10 groups right now. You know, we're going to get started. I'm about to break down this Beyonce already video for y'all. I'm going to break down this Joey Badass the Light video, you know, and we're just going to talk about what's going down right now, the climate change that we're dealing with in popular culture, in movies, in music, everything that's happening right now. As you can see, there's a serious shift in climate as far as imagery, symbolism, what we're seeing, right? Across the board. It's not light. It's big things are going on right now. The whole universe. Peace. Let me shout out my first 9 first and foremost that came into the building, as I always do. Margot Williams, I see you. Sharon Taylor. Who else? C4 the Explosive, I see you. Marquise Hall, Seattle Girl, Andrew Paris, and Melanin Mike, Dua for being the first 9 on board and sharing and getting it to y'all people. Make sure y'all smash that subscribe button as well. We about to get into this right now. So, as we all know, the queen of pop R&B, the queen of damn near soul music, of black music right now, Beyonce just dropped her Black is King video, movie slash C4 explosive, I should say, of African culture. And right now, the main talk right now, what I'm getting on my feed, is the imagery and what people are seeing. So we have to clear up some things for some, and for others further confirm what it is that they are looking at. So the first imagery that I'm seeing, the biggest, I would say, actually, before we get into that, I want to get into the first thing that we see in the video that she actually depicted. The first thing that you see is this. You see this, right? Where you're looking at African man in a tree, in trees, several African people in trees, right? With cowrie shells on their heads, right? Draped around them. If you don't know what a cowrie shell is, the cowrie shell was a form of currency years ago in African culture. It was a major form of currency. It was money back in the day. Okay. And you would see sometimes we dressed them up in our hair and things of that nature, and they did that as well. But it was also a form of currency in African culture. And the beauty part about this is that, as you can see, this person can't see. This person can't see. They have their hands over their eyes. Their hands over their eyes. This is important. This is because what is that majority of Africans don't even know they are, or bear to see, can even bear to look at who they are. This is all symbolism. This is all symbolism. So it's opening up with this type of imagery, letting you know. And it's asking the question, do you know who you are? You know who you are. And the person says, well, I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody. And then they say, well, everybody is somebody. Everybody is somebody, right? So it's not a coincidence that they chose to open up the video with that type of talk, with that type of breakdown, with that type of dialogue. It's because in African American culture, most African Americans do not know exactly who they are. They are walking around with their own hands over their own eyes, right? It's not that somebody else is blinding them. They are blinding themselves. They are blinding themselves willfully. And they're up in trees, right? Up in trees. When someone run up, what is probably scared, huh? It's probably scared when it's running up a tree. You see? So something just as basic as the first couple of seconds of video, you take a lot from what you're seeing here. So this is what I get from this type of imagery when I see black people in trees, covering up their eyes. It tells me that, black people here in America, the message that she is sending is that black Africans do not know who they are. They're hiding by going up in the trees, like they're scared, and they're actually covering their own eyes. They don't even want to look at who they are. Now, the color of this being is significant as well. The color of this being is significant. Does anybody recognize what that color is and where that color comes from? Why that particular color? Why that particular color? Well, if you want to get the knowledge on it, that particular color comes from the color that you would see in ancient Kemet depicting Ptah. Ptah. Oh man. I mean, yo, before we even get to the nooks and crannies of what this video is about, she's already giving you the work. She's already giving you the work. Ptah is one of the first deities that's spoken of in African culture. Ptah. You'll see this figure in many different places, depicted in many different ways. Ptah is also who you see depicted on the Oscar, the trophy of the Oscar, that you see a lot of folks running around using. That's Ptah. They call it an Oscar. Let me pull it up here. Let me pull up some images of Ptah so that you guys can see it. We're gonna do some research in real time, so that y'all can see where we going with this, because y'all need to understand how this thing is working. This is your culture that's being shared here with Beyonce's imagery here. So let me pull up my Chrome tab so y'all can take a look and see this. Okay, so let's take a look at Ptah and all the images of Ptah so you can see. As you can see, Ptah, his head is usually painted that blue. Usually got that blue top, right? And sometimes he's even painted that greenish turquoise color, as you can see, right? See that? Now, if you look at the Oscar is made in the image of Ptah. You see him holding the staff here? You see that? That's what you're looking at when you're looking at the Oscar. So they've taken a lot of our culture and engraved it and hidden it in plain sight for you to see. But if you are unsure of what you're looking at, you're not going to know. Many people will, they looked at Beyonce's work and they accredit it to the devil and stuff like that. It's because you don't know what you're looking at. So now we have to educate you on what it is that you're looking at, so we could take you a step further and help you to ascend in consciousness. Help you to ascend in consciousness. Okay? So when you see that turquoise color and people painted that way, they are depicting your ancient African deities, bringing you back to the source of culture, right? And you can Google the aspects of Ptah and the attributes of what Ptah represents on your own. I'm going to leave y'all with some homework so y'all can understand who Ptah actually is. Okay, you have to do this work for yourself. You can't expect people to do the work for you. Okay, I will bring you to the water, but it is up to you to open that door. It is up to you to drink. Okay, so now moving on. Let's get to this image here, which is probably the image that everybody is talking about. This is the image that everybody's talking about. This is the image of her dressed as a cow, okay, with the headdress on. Dressed as a cow with the headdress on. So now when you look at that, people have associated that with the Baphomet. Okay? So we're going to tackle that really quick. We're going to tackle that. The Baphomet, as you can see, the Baphomet, yes, it does have horns, right? But if you look at the headdress on the Baphomet has a pineal gland on the top of it. A cone-like figure, right? So when you look at this, these are not the same two images here. When you look at this image versus the image that Beyonce is portraying, she has a lunar disc, a sun disc on the top of her head. Do you see that? Do you see the difference between the two? So that should be the first red flag that you're not looking at a Baphomet. Okay? And we'll get into Baphomet and break that down a little bit in a minute. But when you look at the headdress, you'll see that she has a sun disc. Baphomet has a cone, or what we call the pineal gland, on the head. Two totally different images is what you're looking at. Okay? So now, let's go and break down what Beyonce is trying to depict, since it's not Baphomet, right? You say, well, how do we know it's not Baphomet? Well, let's deal with African culture for a second. The headdress is the most important aspect in African culture when it comes to identifying what deity you are talking about. You could have the same being, the same face on and the same body, but if the headdress is different, then you are referencing a different deity. Now, there are different names for all these deities, right? And these are the Greek names. So for study purposes, I'm going to give you both, but for research purposes, you're going to want to know the Greek names and the way that they interpret these deities. Okay, so if you look, you'll find who Beyonce is depicting in her imagery. And the person that she's depicted here is called Hathor, or what us in the Kemetic community, the right name, the non-Greek name, the African name, we call her, as Priestess Kazi just put up there, Oye, is her name is Het Heru. Het Heru. Thank you, Kazi. That is the correct name of who Beyonce is depicting. How do we know that it is Het Heru and not the Baphomet? The first giveaway, as I said, was the headdress, right? It's not a pineal gland up there. That is a sun disk, right? And if you look at Het Heru, you see the sun disk is what her headdress has on it with the horns of the cow. What's the other giveaway that it is Het Heru? The way that you would know that this is Het Heru, you have to dig a little bit and know a little bit about of Africa, know a little about of your Kemetic deities. You got to know a little bit about them to know what you're looking at. The second giveaway is the fact that she is dressed in cow print. Cow print, okay? The cow print is notorious and directly linked with Het Heru. Directly linked with Het Heru. If you follow the scriptures, if you follow the walls of Kemet, I should say, you will see Het Heru many times and most oftentimes depicted as a cow. Depicted as a cow. This is Het Heru nourishing the people. Another image of Het Heru depicted as a cow. And you can see the eye of Heru. This is why the Beyonce is wearing the cow print, so you goofballs don't get it messed up. She deliberately put on the cow print so that you don't get it confused with a Baphomet. If she wanted to do a Baphomet, she would have did a Baphomet. And she would have had wings on, huh? She would have had a breast out, and she would have had a phallus as well. That's not a Baphomet. That is the image of Het Heru. And Het Heru is one of the most notorious deities that you will find in ancient Kemet, your black African ancestors. Okay? There is a temple of Het Heru in Kemet as well. I see y'all in the comments, and I'm going to get to y'all. I see y'all. So, as you can see, there are many, many different images of Het Heru all over the place. All over the place. Het Heru was not a small-time deity. She's also depicted in this manner as well. Also depicted in this manner as well, where you will see a woman with cow ears, right? Cow ears. And this is to show you guys that African people were not just linear people. You see what I'm saying? They were not linear people. They took different deities and sometimes they would mix them together so that you can understand the spiritual aspect of what they're trying to tell you. You see what I'm saying? They were trying to give you game here. And that's what Beyonce was trying to do. They're telling a story. These pictures and these headdress tell a story. So let's look at what Het Heru or Hathor, right, means, right? As you can see here, it says Hathor, Egyptian, right, in Greek, right, meaning mansion of Horus or mansion of Heru, is an ancient Egyptian goddess who personified the principles of joy, feminine love, and motherhood. So we can stop right there, just from the beginning, right? Just from the beginning, we know that she's giving you joy, motherhood, right? As you can see, Beyonce is one of the few artists who is a mother that didn't drop off the map. She's still doing her thing as a mother, right? A lot of times these artists, you know, not going to say no names, as soon as they start having babies, they disappear, right? No disrespect to none of them, we get it, right? But she's embracing motherhood even in her work. You see? She's giving y'all game here. If y'all don't follow Beyonce and understand what she's trying to tell you, I really don't know what to give to you at this point, right? She's also the goddess of the sky, dance, love, beauty, joy, motherhood, foreign lands, mining, music, and fertility. Is that not Beyonce, though? Is that not Beyonce? Does she not embody those things right now? Right? Let's get this work. She was one of the most important and popular deities throughout the history of ancient Egypt. Hathor was worshipped by royalty and common people alike, in whose tomb she is depicted as mistress of the West, right? Welcoming the dead. If you know anything about Kemet, the West was where the dead go, right? Welcoming the dead into the next life. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep, B. That's deep. Because you know what? In the United States, black people's the walking dead. Black people is the epitome, Black people is the epitome of the walking dead right now. Right now. The epitome of the walking dead. She's giving y'all game right now. And you don't even know it. You don't even know it. Folks be so hard pressed to try and find something bad about somebody, right? That they can't even respect when somebody doing good. That's the issue right now. Walking Dead, talk about it. Somebody said black zombies. Talk about it. Black zombies. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm giving you game. I'm waking y'all goofy asses up. Let's go. Let's go. Het Haru. Het Haru. Now, in other roles, she was a goddess of music, dance, foreign lands, fertility, and help women in childbirth, right? Much like Bess, right? As well, the patron goddess of miners. The cult of Hathor predates the historic period and the roots of devotion to her, and therefore difficult to trace. So she comes before you even see an ancient artifact of Het Haru. She existed, right? She existed before you even see a temple. Though it may be a development of pre-dynastic cults, which, what does that say? Venerated fertility and nature in general, represented by cows. Represented by cows. So this is why you see her in the cow print, okay? So that you don't get it messed up, don't get it twisted. It's not Baphomet, it's Het Haru. But let's talk about Baphomet for a minute, okay? Let's talk about Baphomet before we move a little bit further, because a lot of y'all be spooked out, right? Anytime they mention this character, this Baphomet character, y'all start getting spooked out. So we got to go in. First and foremost, let me break it down to you. Baphomet is not an evil character, first and foremost. That's the first thing. How do we know? If you look at Baphomet and you understand symbolism, the Baphomet is a character of equal playing field. As above, so below. Meaning, there is no up, there is no down, there is no in, there is no out. Everything is equal on one playing field, which is why you see the Baphomet having breasts, but also it has a phallus, right? It has the crescent white moon at the top and the crescent black moon at the bottom, showing you balance. It's completely symmetrical, right? They're giving you the term of, or the principle of, as above, so below. The second thing that you need to understand about the Baphomet is that it was not created by us. It was not created by us. For some reason, anytime we want to Satanize something, right? Anytime we want to talk about the Baphomet, rather, we want to Satanize it, right? And trying to make it seem like it's something that has to deal with us. This is all Tamahu gameplay. We don't deal with the Baphomet. The Baphomet wasn't created until way later. The Baphomet is not ancient. The Baphomet is fake. Okay? You will never find ancient carvings of a Baphomet anywhere because it did not exist during the times in question. Let me give you, I'm not just going to say that. Let's deal with it. Let's pull it up here so y'all can understand what I'm saying here. Because you spooked out folks who be, coming from religion and stuff like that. Y'all be scared of too many things. Let's look at the Baphomet here. Baphomet from medieval Latin. This ain't ours. This came from the medieval times. See what I'm saying? Baphomet is a deity that the Knights Templar were accused of worshiping and subsequently was incorporated into occult and mystical traditions. So this thing didn't start coming around until the 19th century. This thing here. Huh? This thing ain't even real. It ain't even real. What, was it born in the 19th century? Look at this. Look at this. This thing ain't even real, family. Okay? So let's stop spooking ourselves out with things that have nothing to do with us. They have absolutely nothing to do with us. Baphomet is one of those things. That is not ancient African culture. You got to stop trying to take ancient European, what they call European stuff, rather modern day European stuff, and tagging it to ancient African culture because it's not one and the same. It's not one and the same. Y'all got to understand, that these are two different cultures. You can't merge the two. You can't merge the two. You see? Because then what happens is you'll be so spooked out over your own stuff, you won't even know what's yours. You won't even know what's yours. Huh? What the Baphomet is a corruption of Het Haru, not the other way around. Het Haru came first to the point where we don't even know where it came from. She predates the Baphomet. So how is the Het Haru evil? In what aspect? When it was here first. Huh? You know why the Baphomet was created? Is because men, right? The matriarch society wanted to take control. So they wanted to put the male aspect into this situation. But Het Haru, the divine woman, was worshipped since the beginning of time because everybody knew that we came from the divine feminine aspect. Everybody knew you come from the vagina. You don't come from a divine male. So everybody knew that. This is why Het Haru was worshipped for so long. Het Haru was acknowledged well before any of these and depicted as the cow. Why the cow? Right? The cow you go to for nurturing. If you ever had a drought, but you still had cows, you could walk through desert land and make it to the next area if you had cows. You'd be nourished by cows. You see what I'm saying? If you had cows. Cows were animals that you couldn't kill in Africa in the ancient times. So that's why the cow was depicted with Het Haru. As you can see around the cow, you can see around the neck, you can see Het Haru's face on it. The same face that you see here is around the neck of the cow. Oh, y'all gonna get this work today. All you spooky folk gonna get this work today. And see, this is the problem. The real issue is that we have here dealing with the diaspora of black people here who don't know their courage is the ones who don't know what's going on speak the loudest. The ones who have no idea what it is they're looking at, see what I'm saying? They speak the loudest. They speak the loudest. Oh my God, it's the devil, it's the devil, it's the devil. But they can never produce the devil. They can never even show you what the devil looked like. The ones with the loudest mouths, right? And these be black people. These be black people. The white man ain't gonna tell you that it's the devil because they know that shit fake too. They invented it. So let's keep going. Let's keep going here. We got a lot to build on. We're going in today. So you can see Het Haru in many different places, all over the place in Africa. It's one of the largest worshipped principles, one of the largest acknowledged, I should say, principles of science. This is who you are, especially divine feminine. If you are a woman, You're supposed to be embodying these principles, not turning away from them, not shunning them or trying to demonize them. Okay? You should not be demonizing Het Heru. You should recognize Het Heru when you see her, and you should acknowledge her. You should embody her in your everyday walk and practices. You see? Het Heru is everywhere. Nothing to be afraid of. Okay? So now, let's keep moving. Some other imagery that we find, right, is the crescent moon, which I love. I absolutely love this part here, where she's showing the crescent moon. That crescent moon, the reason why the cow was so significant is because if you ever see a cow on its horns, it actually kind of mimics the crescent moon, the horns of a cow. It's just like the crescent moon. You see? And the crescent moon was also depicted at times on Jehuti. If you know anything about Jehuti, let me see if I can find the crescent moon and show you it on Jehuti, meaning the principle. Jehuti, if you know anything about Jehuti, Jehuti is the principle of knowledge. The principle of knowledge. Okay? Check it out. As you can see on the right-hand side here, you can see Jehuti, the principle of knowledge, with the crescent moon. You see? And the tree of knowledge here. See? The tree of life. Alongside his consort, Sashat. There's also imagery in the video that you will see where she has the imagery of Sashat. Her hair is in the hairstyle of Sashat. Her hair is in the hairstyle of this flower here on the head of Sashat. So she's telling you exactly what it is, but if you don't know what you're looking at, you just don't know. You just don't know. And Sashat is the one responsible for giving the idea of knowledge and writing to Jehuti, who then taught the people. It was the divine feminine energy, the woman, who gave the idea, right? And as you can see, she's holding the symbol of the scribe in her hand. The scribe was one of the most important people in history because they were the writers. So she gave the knowledge to Jehuti, and Jehuti then took the knowledge and gave it to the people. Right? Okay. So this is what you are looking at, family. This is what you are looking at when you see this. Most people don't know the imagery that she's giving off. This is the most in-depth imagery work that I've seen of authentic Kemetic history in a long time, of authentic African history throughout the entire thing. Super dope. Super dope. Okay. So let's keep going. We got a bunch of imagery in this one little part that we're gonna keep building on, and y'all can take these bits and pieces and run with it. Okay. Another piece of imagery here of them wearing the blue. You see, like the offspring of Ptah. And all the dances they were doing were ancient African dances. All of them were African dances. All of them. And she also kept the choreographers of these. She had them all black African choreographers, which was awesome as well. Because a lot of times they just take the culture and they rape the culture. And she didn't do that. She actually had those individuals in there. So I want to give Beyonce a major kudos. Major kudos in reference to this, because it was just outstanding, this piece of work for that video already, and for the movie Black is King. Definitely check it out. Go to title if you need be, if you don't have it, and check that out. We're going to get into some more imagery now with my brother. My brother, he goes by the name of Joey Badass. Joey Badass. Yes, sir. You're starting to see now a lot of our prominent artists tapping in to their divine selves, tapping into ancient African history, ancient African culture, and putting it on the forefront of the mainstream. I've been working closely with this brother, and he's just a powerful individual, a powerful person to know. And I respect him so much. And we're going to talk about what he did in this last video called The Light, in which he, in the beginning of how the video begins, it starts as this. It says, on June 16th, 2020, I chose to partake in a traditional voodoo ceremony in search of rebirth. My purpose with this visual is to inspire Black people to realize their power and take it back as I did. Don't be afraid of who you are. That's their job. Ugh. That's their job. We are magic. We are magic. Come on now. So before he even get into it, he's letting you know that it's about to get crazy. We're about to go in. Before we even go in, right? So first imagery that you see is him coming down the stairs, and I love this. People didn't pick up on this, but I noticed him coming down the stairs, dressed in all white. Now, when you're wearing white, those who don't know, when you wear white in Africa, that is significant of death. When you wear white, they dress you in white linen. Okay, that's significant of death, right? He's in search of rebirth, so he's wearing all white. This one's gonna get crazy for you. Hold your seats. It's going to get crazy. Okay. Because I promise you this. This brother just walks in it. He walks in it and he lets the vibrations take him. Some of this stuff he's probably going to learn too about what he was doing. So here we go. Secondly, he's going into the basement. He's going down. He's underground. He's underground dressed in white, right? And if you look, it says no social media pictures allowed. Huh? You see, some things in spiritual growth, everybody can't see. Everybody can't witness your spiritual growth. Everybody can't witness when it's time to grow. Everybody say, yo, where Joey been at? What's up with Joey? I ain't heard it. Listen, man. When you growing and you getting tapped back in, everybody can't come, B. Everybody can't come. Some of y'all might need to stay home. Some of y'all ain't gonna need to know what's going on because you're not tapped in. So when you look at the imagery here, this is powerful. I already gave you the divine feminine. Let me show you how the divine masculine work too. Okay? No social media. No pictures allowed. Okay? Quick. It was quick. You gotta screenshot it in order to catch it. It was so quick. Okay? So the brother goes into the basement, down to the bottom, underground, dressed in white linen to experience his rebirth. Right? And here you have where he has his experience, where he's embodied by the spirit of the rebirth, embodied by it. Now, this part is amazing because you can see when the spirit overtakes him, where he can no longer hold up his body because he's about to rebirth. His new spirit is coming in, right? And I personally sat down with this brother and spoken to him about his experience with it. And hopefully we will have him on the show at some point. I spoke to him this morning and we're going to be talking about this. But this experience that he had was amazing because he felt it. Okay. When you have that rebirth, and I know what he's experienced, that outer body experience where you're no longer in the body. It's not you no more. You see? Because the new spirit is coming. The new spirit is coming in. Now, the rebirth, as we all know, this is symbolism here. I need you to look at this. I need you to look at this. This is all symbolism here. When they put the blue blanket over his head. Symbolism. Anytime something is born, there is a flood. Anytime something is born and is born of water, I was born underwater. Anytime something is reborn, it is born underwater. And you see this many times all over the world. But see, many people look at it and they say, whoa, voodoo is evil. You know why they think voodoo is evil? That's the program. Let me tell you something. Because if you saw this same ritual being done in a church, when they pass out and they put the blue, come on. If you saw it in a church, it would be okay. If you saw it in the church, it would be okay. You see? Don't play with me. Don't play with me. This is where they got it from. This is where they got it from. They took it from your ancient African ancestors. When there was no Jesus in existence. When there was no devil in existence. When there was no God in existence. These rituals were already being done in African Congos, in African deserts, in African jungles. These rituals were being done by your ancestors. Let me give you this work. So he's dressed in all white. And he's experienced his rebirth. Born underwater, just like you came out of the womb from the amniotic fluid. Just like the sun rose out of the waters of Nun, the creation of the universe. How the waters were separated from the waters. Science. This is where they got the Holy Ghost from when the Spirit comes upon you. This is where they got the Holy Spirit from. You see? When they start their dances, they're mimicking ancient African dances, the same dance that you saw him doing. Because that's what happens. That's what happens when the Spirit comes upon you. Right? Just think of you in the afterlife waiting for your body. Just think, you've been waiting for a body. You've been waiting to be manifested in the physical realm. What's the first thing you're going to do when you come out? You're going to dance. So now we have new Joey emerging from the basement. I mean, just look at his face. You can tell you're looking at a different nigga. Whole different niggas. Whole different. The energy different. The manifestations are different. The mindset is different. But he come out dressed in the red suit. Whole new person dressed in the red suit. Now, if you know anything about the red suit, right? We're going to get into that in a minute. If you know anything about the color red, it's associated with a particular deity coming out of Kemet. He might not know this. Right? spooky folks might incorporate it with their little devils and stuff they want to make up because they don't know their African culture. So what they don't know, they just make up. Whole swag different. That's right, Tashi. So he come out in the red. The red is representative of the deity that we call Sekhmet. Sekhmet. Okay. Sekhmet is the energy associated with wrath. Wrath. Sekhmet is also in charge of healing people, and he might not know this. Sekhmet is also in charge of healing people during a time of a pandemic. Ugh, this is filthy. Do your research. I want you to fact check me. Sekhmet is also in charge of healing during a pandemic or a epidemic. Sekhmet is the healer. Huh? So when he comes out, the new reborn Joey, he's dressed in the colors of Sekhmet. It represents the fire that is needed to heal. You see, when your body, let's give you the science. When your body is sick, when it's time to heal, your body will give you a fever. You will get hot. That's the body working to heal itself. It's the body working to heal itself. So we associate Sekhmet, the healer, with that all-consuming fire. Some of y'all might know Sekhmet in other ways, in Yoruba, right? And the Orishas, right? There's a lot of different deities with different names that are associated with this. But we're going to give you this work today, I promise. So now, here he is. New, redefined. He walks past the candles, the fire, and he absorbs the energy. He absorbs the fire into his hands. Huh? We are those who eat fire. We eat fire. He absorbs the all healing energy into his hands as he's walking over the symbols of fire in alchemy. Huh? Ooh. Ooh. A lot of imagery going on here. A lot of imagery going on here. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. As he absorbs the fire, first stop, paying homage to the dead, the fallen, as the children stand by and watch. As the children watch, adjacent. Important. This feature was very, very important. And I speak closely with the director. And this is important because it's showing the children here. It's showing what the children see. You got to remember, we got babies being born in this time, this pandemic right now. We got babies being born. I know for me, my son was born on that day that COVID hit. We got babies watching us go through these things, going through these roller coasters, going through these motions, all the different things that we have going on. And many times we forget what they're going through, that they're watching our energy. They're watching how we're responding to what's going on. And what we give them is ultimately what they're going to experience, the perspective. So here you have the image where he now is draped around the child and he's showing him how to take that fiery energy and absorb that energy. How to absorb that energy. You see, while at the same time paying homage to those who gave him that work. You could look at them as the ancestors. You see, your elders, those who pass down this information to you. You see, this is ancient African gumbo. This whole video is ancient African gumbo. Now, you can see here in the next image where he's walking up the block, right? Now that he's equipped with the power, and this is my favorite part, he takes off the suit. He takes off the suit. No more shucking and jiving for you niggas. Huh? He takes off the suit of Sekhmet. Because now, if you look very closely, you can see the fire going through his body. It's in his veins. It's in his veins now. You see that? You see that? That's right. No longer needed. No longer needed. No more none of that. You see, it's in his veins. So now he's walking down the block with the fire of Sekhmet flowing through his veins and his body, draped in the gold. As we know, gold is a great conductor of energy. The same gold that our ancestors used to wear. King Tut, Akhenaten, and all of our kings and queens of the past. You see that energy. It's different. It's different on this side. You see? So now, he takes that energy, and his first stop is where? Wow. So I'm going to need y'all to do the math on this one. Y'all ready? Y'all doing the math? He walks into the police station, specifically the 81st precinct. Ain't too many folks doing this. Ain't too many folks tapped into this. Yeah, you may laugh, 'cause you did not do your math. Yeah. Yo, I can't. This is, it's too hot, bro. This video is too hot, bro. It's too hot. You got to be tapped in to do stuff like this, man. You got to be tapped in to do stuff like this. This can't come from, oh yeah, we just trying to mimic Black African culture. You really got to be tapped in. He got the flames busting out his goddamn chest as he walk into the precinct, chest naked, of the 81st precinct. I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. That's Africanness at its finest. That's Black excellence. That's taking the ancient African principles and then bringing it to today, right? In today's times, and how we can utilize it in today's times, right? Because many of us have the knowledge. Many of us are tapped in, but we don't know how to apply it. We don't know how to use it in today's climate, right? So, this video is indicative of taking that energy, of taking that African culture, and not just acknowledging that it exists, but having it delved into your DNA, having it deep down within your heart, spirit, and soul, and using it on a day-to-day basis to orchestrate change here in what we're going through right now. He's taking the energy of the fallen soldiers, of those who have gone on, right? Taking the energy of his ancestors, right? Taking the energy of the children and the things that they're experiencing, all of those things, and he's walking into the police precinct with it, right? So that's a whole different playing field of expression that we look for when we look at African. Yeah, Shannon, it's just fly. You know, when we're talking about African spirituality and the sacred science, that's what it's supposed to look like. And the fact that this is now being done on the mainstream, right? A, it takes a lot of courage, right? B, it's not easy to do considering the powers that be, right? And C, he actually did it. He actually pulled it off, right? He actually pulled it off. So kudos to my boy. I'm so excited for him. I'm happy for him and what he's doing. I'm so excited for Beyonce and what she's doing and in her growth, you know, and it's important that we as a people, right? Because they're not the only ones that's doing this. There's some other individuals that are starting to step up. I'm loving what Tiana Taylor is doing as well, what she's doing with her brand. She's bringing Africanness to the forefront. Right here, she's here in the mud print, the traditional mud print, you know. And when you listen to the lyrics of what she's saying, you know, love is the new money, you know, and depicting Black people in an awesome manner, you know, man and woman together producing children, you know, things of that nature. You know, all of that is important as far as imagery and what we're trying to do here, you know, in the new climate. It's important, you know, for Black people to start to delve into this, right? So now I want to talk about one more thing that might have thrown people off here. And we're going to talk about symbolism really quick, because if you notice in the beginning of Joey's video, in the beginning of his video, you see the symbol at the bottom, right? Symbol at the bottom. And let's break this down for a second. Because many people have started to hit me up. They say, well, what does this symbol mean? Brother Jamar, what is that? That looks like the devil. That's Satan stuff, right? And they're associating this symbol with this symbol, right? They're associating this symbol with this symbol. Now, if you know, you know. So let me break it down for you. First and foremost, when we're dealing with Satan, or what we call Set or Satan is not real. That's the first thing. First thing. Satan is the aspect of Set, or an opposing energy. You need to understand what Set is. Set is an energy that we all actually have within us. You have a positive aspect and you have a negative aspect of you. And then you have a neutral aspect, or what we call the divine or heaven. There is no such thing as good or bad when you are dealing with these energies. This is an important principle. There's only balance, not good or bad, only balance. You can do good things that will in turn have a bad result. You can do bad things that will in turn have a good result. This is the laws of nature. This is the laws of nature. It's about balance. There is no such thing as a better person or a worse person. It is a person dealing with two different scales of balance. If you do too good, you will destroy yourself. If you do too bad, you will destroy yourself. This is the aspect of human nature. If you fly too high, you will eventually hit the atmosphere and you will burn up. Fly too low, you will eventually hit the ground and you will crash. It's called balance. It's what we call ma'at, right? This is what the aspect of the Baphomet actually represented. It's showing you that there is a balance here. Up, down, left, right, in and out. There is no such thing as good and bad, or even positive and negative. It's two opposing forces. When you look at in Kemet how we depicted it, we would show you one aspect of Tahuti, and then the opposite would be Sashat, but they are consorts. They would be married. Okay, they saw it as a family, as them being married together, because you wouldn't be able to define one without the other. You see, it's a form of expression. When you can understand this basic principle, then you can understand, and only then you will be able to understand symbolism. So when you look here, right, at the symbol of Satan, right, or what they call Satan, you first have to prove that Satan is real. You first have to give us what this individual is, right? And most of them can't define. They say it's the guy that goes against God. Okay, so who's God, right? Can you show me who's God? And then we have 4,200 gods, right? In Kemet, there were no gods. It was only scientific principles that we all understood. We all understood that these scientific principles worked one and the same with one another, and they needed each other to coexist. So now, when you look at Joey's symbol here, what you're looking at, and I helped him to design this symbol. If you look at it, you'll see that one aspect of it, it has the all-seeing eye. So first off, you already know that it's not the same symbol because you have the all-seeing eye, or the eye of Heru, at the top here. You have the eye of Heru. Two totally different symbols, first off. Then, if you look at the cross here, you have two crosses here on the Set symbol, or satanic symbol, rather. You have one here, right, depicting the Southern Crooks as it rises every solstice, right? And then on the bottom here, you see the symbol of infinity, right, on the satanic cross. But on his, as you can see, the loops are not connected. So if the loops are not connected, why do you see the loops as being connected if the loops are not connected? It's a program. It's a program. The reason why you see them connected is because of your religious programming that you come from. Because if you look closer, you will see that the symbol at the bottom is actually a J and a B. Oh, we got you. Oh, we got you. Huh? Stop playing. Stop playing. See, when you understand symbolism, you'll be able to deprogram yourself into being spooked out by everything that you see. They will have you afraid of your own shadow with the program that they have going on here in the United States. You'll be afraid to look at your own divine self and see divinity. You'll see yourself as a slave, all different things, criminals, thugs, all different things, except for who you are as the divine. You see? So at some point in time, we have to get to a point where, and I believe that the time is now, that we are getting to a point where we are embracing our African history enough so that when we see it, we can tell when things are authentic versus when something is a carbon copy, or something that is being just used for capitalism, right? We can tell when someone has put their research in, because certain things you just won't be able to express unless you have. And it's my contention to advocate for at least these videos that I've just broken down to you from Beyonce. I can't speak for any of the other stuff, but I will speak for this one. 150%, I co-sign the things that the imagery that she's put out on these. When you break it down to its nutshell, you can tell that it was done by people who knew what the hell was going on. With Joey's video, I know firsthand the individuals involved know what the hell is going on. So I am grateful to be living in this day and time that I'm actually able to see this type of stuff being put on the airwaves in a professional manner, with class, with dignity, depicting our people the way they should be depicted. Because in most cases, when we represent Black people, especially here in America, it's always from the lens and the perspective of slaves and those of ill repute, those who are not respected in society, or who have contributed nothing to civilization. So, you know, when you have artists like this, these are the artists that you want to promote and to support in this day and time and moving forward. All the shucking and jiving is over. All that club stuff, you know, it's not that it's going to be dead, but we do need to bring balance. We do need to bring balance to the airwaves. And, you know, I'm proud of both these individuals, and also Tiana Taylor too, for embracing that. And your responsibility now is, knowing the truth, is to don't allow people to talk crazy on your timeline, bringing spookism, to things that they don't know nothing about. It's important that you, when you see stuff like that, is to educate them, is to open your mouth and use your throat chakra to educate these individuals on what the truth is about what it is that they see. As much as I wanted to stay quiet about this and not comment on people's artistry, because I'm sensitive about my artistry as well. At the end of the day, when I see African culture, being attacked, such as the way that they came at Beyonce, and even some of the people that didn't know what was going on, even with Joey's video. I gotta speak. I gotta speak on it. I can't be quiet. And you also need to do that as well. Promote these videos, put this type of work out there, because it's up to us to change the climate. The conscious community was very, very small. Even 5 years ago was very, very small. But individuals like you guys, the Lighthouse, people the work that we've been putting in and the work that others have been putting in these streets and around the world, what we've been doing, it's bringing it to a space where now it's becoming common knowledge. People know what we're talking about when we say Kemet versus saying Egypt. They know what we're talking about. They may not know Het Haru, but they know Hathor. They know Isis and things of that nature. They know some of our elders and people that have come. So we are moving in a space that is way more in depth and easier to explain now to people, now that we have the numbers and now that we have expressed it and shown what it's supposed to look like authentically. So I hope y'all enjoyed this breakdown. The PayPal and the Cash App is on the bottom if you want to donate. If you got something out of this, if you saw something that you didn't see before, if you learned something, make sure y'all share with your loved ones, your family members, and your friends, so they could hopefully be able to peep some more things. And I'm sure you guys have saw some things that I didn't even mention on here throughout the course of the video. But I wanted to put my 2 cents in there and let y'all know, exactly what I saw and how authentic that it actually was. So with that being said, may the divine force in me reach the divine force in you. May you manifest every heart's desire. Dua, dua, dua. I love you, family, and peace. I'll play some music for y'all on the way out. Y'all can bang it.
I want it to feel like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all in the lab with us, Basically, you know what I mean? Oh, what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it. Yeah. My enemies frustrated cause I won't engage. I expose slaves, they ain't fucking with the culture wave. Till I hold in great potent on the vocal aid. In the streets or internet like an open J. Young king playing the part I'm supposed to play. Sapiosexual vibration, I poke your bay. She at your neck like he ain't got the answer sway. Jay got a colorful aura like anime. Young bull flex on all old niggas, go figure. I'm in bed with success, cozier than cold winners. They got a massive team, but nobody know business. I go with hits like a ho-ho, go with Christmas. Had to pause for the bros who missed it. Your boy flow wicked and so liquid. I speak life, build my own bridges. My gold glisten, only cause I'm so gifted. What I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it.